Left off on Kufches, Amar Aleph, Iboilu. Yeah, we said. We had a question. It's a few lines into the narrow lines. We did it, but just to get back into it. You see it? Iboilu, Skachemau. If a woman was, let's say, fully married, Midrabanan, and then she was in Skach with another person, is that enough? Is that the equivalent of Miyun? She doesn't say, I'm not interested. She accepts Kedushin from another person. Toshma Ketana Shlo Miyano. A Ketana who didn't actually, she wasn't Mimaying. She didn't say, I'm out of the first marriage. V'omdev Niskacho, and she accepted Kedushin from a second party. The Kedushin is the equivalent of the Miyun. Even though she didn't say, I'm not interested, the accepting of Kedusha means the action reveals what her intent is. Iboilu. Pliga Rabban a later Rabbi Yehuda Mebseira, or the Chacham Olo, maybe there's no argument. This Rabbi Yehuda is just saying it, but nobody argues with him. Oh, Imtim Sloma Pligi, and if you say maybe they do argue, the Kedushin, maybe it's only Kedushin, because Kedushin is less of an act. If you've been Nesuin, no, even if Nesuin, unless she says, according to the Chachamim, I'm not interested, the first marriage remains intact. Do we rule like Rabbi Yehuda Mebseira? And even if you say we rule like Rabbi Yehuda Mebseira, then Nesuin, is it only when she does a more overt act, which is Nesuin, it's more advanced? Or Afil Bikdushin? These are all the shaylas. Evidently. I'm not sure. Could be because it's like the Taisus says in certain locations that when the position of the minority is so logical, right? It's logical. I mean, what do you have to say? I'm not interested. Just the fact you accepted Kedushin, that's enough, right? That's what he says. That is the miyun. Yeah. Rabbi Yehuda Mishma Rabbi Yehuda ben Beseiro. So Rabbi Yehuda said we rule like Rabbi Beseiro. So what is the connotation of halacha? Halacha b'chlal de pligi. Sevat katiti b'loch. David Yisiv meikoro. Div mekacho. Maybe was she originally fully married, or maybe she was only mekudeshes? Because we had question. Toshma. The kalsei de Avdon. Yeah, the daughter-in-law Avdon. We had remember Avdon before. It was a Talmud of Rebbe. Rabbi Yehuda Anossi is the one who became a Metzora. Right, his two sons drowned, and his daughters-in-law were Mamayim on that day, right? Because he spoke in a way to Rabbi Shmuel Rabbi Yossi in a certain way. Okay, Toshma the Kalsi the Avdon Imrud. The daughter, she did an act of merida. She rebelled. She defied her husband. The daughter of Avdon. Shodev Rebbe Zugi D'Rabbanan Levdekinu. So the Rebbe sent a pair of Talmidei Chachamim Lemidvikinu to check out what was going on. Rashi says, where's Lemidvikinu? Sheniskacha la'achir. Where? Excuse me. Lemidvikinu. Ihavi the mehedra. Could they get her to? Could they somehow bring some kind of reconciliation between them, between the daughter-in-law and the husband? Right. That was the question. Is it beyond repair, or it could be corrected? Amri Luhu, so she said to them, Noshi Chozaichu, Noshi Chozi Gavraichu to Koosu. Amri Luhu. So they said, Noshi Chozu Gavraichu Koosu. Women see men, Amri Luhu, Nehevi Gavraichu Ditchu. How does he read this? They said, Amri Luhu. They said to them, the Shei Chozi. How do you read? What does it mean? Nehevi Gavraichu Ditchu. Let them be your husbands. I'm not interested. Right? That she says. The Shei Chozi Gavraichu Ditchu. Even if it says Noshi, Kalsei, seemingly was what? It was one daughter-in-law. So what's that? Noshi? No, she behaved. They sent them to evaluate whether they could get back together. Right. But evidently, this was what this was. She was a katana. Okay. The daughter was a katana. So if she's Mamayin, but she wasn't Mamayin yet. So Amri Lu Noshi Choseg Avraichu. See your husbands. The Avraichu Ditchu. Let them be your husbands. Omar Rebbe Eilucha Min Godel Mizeh. That kind of statement is the equivalent you couldn't have, even though she didn't say I'm not interested. She's saying, let the guy take a hike. Okay. My love, Davin Yisivo. Maybe she was already married, fully married. Lo, Davin Bekachkedu was only Kedushin. They weren't. We rule like Rabbi Yosef, even though she was fully married originally, even if she does Kedushin, it's considered Miyun. She's out. Rabbi Loza Omer. Right? Rabbi Loza says that Kedushin Ketan is nothing. Nothing. Even if she marries Yisrael, she's a Bas Kohen, she eats Truma, and she could have relations with him. Tovelis, then she leaves. Tovelis, Ochelis Truma. That's Rabbi Lezer. Omar Rav Yudah Mishmul Chazrene Kol Tzadi Chacham Lo Motzosi Odom Sheishu Midosav Biktanik Rabbi Lozer. Shoser Rabbi Lozer Kim Tayel Lesimo B'Chotzer Vomeres B'Chok Tovelis Ochelis B'Truma Lerev. Yeah. I don't know what he means. He's Mashim Midosov. Davi, what does it mean? He's Mashim Midosov, even though it's a little contradictory. I mean, she can have relations with him like she, his wife, and simultaneously, even though he's a Yisrael, she's a Basko, and she can eat Truma. So what's the expression? He's Mashim Midosov. Seemingly, it's contradictory, right? How does he explain Mashim Midosov?
She's still a child, right?
No, it's a minor. It's a minor. Rebbe Lezer holds the marriage. We don't recognize it like married. Right. He has no rights in her, right. And she has no rights in him, but she has relations with him, right. And yet she could eat Truma, so that all makes sense.
So I haven't found anybody that agrees with Rabbi Lozer in terms of the fact that she's a Tana and she's married. But Rabbi Lozer
I know what's Shema. I know, I understand that. What's Shehishva Midosa B'Ktana? Lo Motzosi Odom Shehishva Midosa B'Ktana. I understand. But why is as consistent as Rabbi Lozer? What do we as consistent? No, I understand that. No, I understand that. But he says, no. But he says is as consistent as Rabbi Lozer. What do you mean? He's inconsistent. He hasn't found anybody who's consistent, Rabbi Lozer. I think the consistent because we learn the husband has no right to a mitzio, to masio deo, he can't be made from the direct, can't do any of those things. So therefore, that means he's consistent. For all intents and purposes, she's not his wife. No. So therefore, it's totally he doesn't have any husband rights in her, and she's not bound to him. So there's a total consistency. The only thing is she has relations with him.
So that's like two Jews having a relationship. It's nothing.
I understand, right? She's a katana. She's a minor. She's a minor. Yes. Tanya Rabbi Lezer in mas katana klum. That's it. Vein bailo. The act of katana is meaningless. Vein balo zakoy lo b'tzioso. He has no right to her find. Lo masiydah, not to her earnings. Lo b'force no durel. Ve'eno yorusho. He doesn't inherit her. Vein betamalo. And he doesn't want either. He's not. If he's a kohen, he can't contaminate her. We had earlier. If he yarshins her, he does. Why? Because she's a mes mitzvah. Remember we had earlier. Even though it's a rabbinic marriage, let's say he's her heir. So it says he could contaminate. So we're asked, but he's not married. On a Torah level, he's not married. So how could he marry her? The Gemara earlier, we say, Yesh kochmet lakodov min Torah v'shei valtas lo b'kumbese. So the Chachomim, they could nullify the Torah. We could violate her passively, but not overtly. So we asked, but it says that if you have a Kedushin Rabbanon, if he's married rabbinically, and the husband's a Kohen, he can contaminate to his wife, but it's not his wife. So the more answer is that because since rabbinically he inherits her, so the family has they're not interested in burying her. So what does she turn out to be? She's a mes mitzvah. So a Jew who has nobody to tend to his burial needs, even a Kohen Gadol can contaminate. So the husband is attending to his wife is the equivalent of a mes mitzvah. That's where the Gemara answers it. Okay, but Rebbe Lezer says no. So if he's not Yorsha, if he doesn't inherit her, he can't contaminate her because the family is going to be the heirs. They're going to inherit. Klol shedover. Eino ki ishto l'chol dover. Not whatsoever. Elo shetzricha miyun. But factually, but if she wants to break from him totally, she needs miyun. The Gemara is going to ask a question. Manavsha, she's not married, she need miyun. Miyun is to sever something. They have to nullify the marriage. But if you tell me there's no marriage, what do you mean? We'll say, Shomer Balo Zakoi b'mitziyosav. No. Rabbi Shua says the husband, he has a right to her find, Masiyadeh, her earnings, Bafors Nodorel, the Yorsho, Umetamalo. But why can't be? It's rabbinic marriage. So that it can't be. Klol Shadover, Harehi Keishto L'chol Dover. Elo Shiotz Mian. The only difference is a regular wife, you need a get. This wife, Miyun is enough. Not walks out. Miyun. Omer Rebbe near Div Rebbe Lezer, Midiv Rebbe Yeshua. Rebbe says that the position of Rebbe Lezer is more logical, more rational than Rebbe Yeshua. Should Rebbe Lezer, Hishwa, Midosov, Bektana, mean nothing. He's totally consistent. Because Rebbe Yeshua is not, because Mordechai, if it's his wife, you should need a get. Rebbe Yeshua, Cholak, my Cholak, Ishti, Tiboy get. Right? He's not consistent, because if she's every right of a husband and a wife, so why isn't there a get? So that's the inconsistency. So Rebbe Lezer Nami, Ilavishti, Miyunami, Lotiboy. Right? Let her go out with nothing. So why? So the Gemara concludes, why is Rebbe Lezer more consistent than Rebbe Yeshua? That same issue is the same issue. Rebbe Lezer ben Yaakov Omer. Rebbe Lezer ben Yaakov, it's unclear what he means in the Mishnah. Rebbe Lezer ben Yaakov says, Kol akevo shi min ish. If he's the cause of the holdback, then we see her like his wife. But if it's something from her side, then it's not. Eno kishto. What does that mean? Hechidomi akevo shi min ish. What does it mean? The holdback is from him. Akev sheina min ish. Omer Rabbi Yehuda Meshmuel tovuah li noseg. Yeah. They asked her, she's married to the first one, and they asked her to get married to another man. V'omra machmes ploni bali zu. And what does she say? He akeva shiminish. She says, but I'm married to the first husband. So that means, then what? No, so she's admitting, I'm not. Okay? So that's machmas. Well, he akeva shiminish, machmas b'nei odem shein mugonim li. What about if she said it? Depends why she said it. Let's say the people who wanted to suggest they were uncouth people, unrefined. So she wants to get them off her back, right? That's why she's saying it. So that there she's not solidifying the relationship.
Right.
Yeah, but factually. Yeah, but my difficulty is, but even though that may be the case, but she's not. If she wants to be mine, she still could be mine, right? They asked her, do you want to get married to a third party? So she says, I'm married to the first man. So good. Let's say nobody asked her a question, and we ask her, and we know she was married rabbinically. Is she married to the first party? She still married him. She never severed it.
Right.
She never said, I want out.
Right.
So what do we need the tavuah? Without the tavuah, even if they didn't say a word to her. If they wouldn't have said a word to her. Right? And say what's bothering me. How does he explain it over there? So that's immune. If the only reason why she said it was to get them off her back, that's enough reason what to break it. No, she said, I'm not interested in being with him.
Right.
The question is, when she says that, if it's machmas adosh mugonim, she says, really, I would accept somebody else in marriage. But right now, because she wanted, so that itself, saying that, I think that itself, that's miyun. That's miyun. If she says they were decent people, she's saying I'm remaining married with my husband. But if the reason why she says I would, but you people aren't the right kind of people. So what is she saying? I really want to end the marriage. Mm-hmm. Except I want to protect you, so I'm only pushing you people off. I think that's what the Gemara is saying. Yes or no? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Abaye barovin Rav Chanina barovin the Amri Tavayu noslo get. Let's say there was a kedushin drabonon or nisun, and he gave her a get. The husband. Noslo get akevu shimenish. That means he did something from his part. He's holding her back. So even though a ketana doesn't need a get, let's say a ketana does niyun, she's permitted to a kohen. right? And she's permitted to all his relatives because it's retroactive. Well, let's say he gave her a get. So that's what it says. Because akev sheminish vihu aser bikrovaseh v'asur bikrova v'posel min akuna, giving her the get, although it's the same rabbinic marriage. What about it be miana bo? Rather than she went, it was mine. She says, I refuse to be with him any longer. So that's retroactive nullification, annulment of the marriage. Zu akevim she'ena minish v'mut v'hu muter bikrovaseh. He's permitted to her relatives. V'hi muteres bikrova. She's permitted to his relatives. Right? He could marry her mother afterwards. V'lo posel min akuna, because she never get a get. Hakton l'kamon. Yeah, rabbinically. Haktani l'kamon hamenes bish. It says a woman who muter b'krovoseo v'muteres b'krova v'lo posel min akuna. Nosla get who osir b'krovoseo v'yasur b'krov posel min akuna. So Mar says prushi kamaforish, meaning the Mishnah lady is going to explain what Reb Eliezer ben Yaakov means. When he says, Akev min Isha, that's exactly what it means. Yeah, there's the next Mishnah. Further. You following? The statement of Reb Eliezer ben Yaakov is a little esoteric. We don't know what he means. The next Mishnah goes elucidates what Reb Eliezer ben Yaakov meant. Ha'me'enes bi'ish. A woman, a katana goes and she says, she's manis in the ish. She says, I refuse to be with you any longer. Muter b'krovosel v'hi muteres b'krovov. V'lo posel min akuna noslo get, right? Was b'krovosel v'yasur b'krovov uposlo min akuna. Right? We just said now. That's the Mishnah. Noslo get verziro minabo. Say he gave her a get verziro minabo. Then subsequently she was mamayin. And she got married to another person and she became a widow. Why? Poshet. No, because usually there's an issue of Mazal Grushoso. But since the second person, she annulled it through Miyun, if he would have given her a get, then he could have married. But since the second person, she Miyun, since like she was never married to the second one, she go back. Mina bo verziro, right? What about the mean was from the first one? He took her back, then he gave her a get. Right? He gave her a get. And then she married the second guy, and the second person gave her a get. She can't go back to the first one any longer. So if she would have only had miyun on the first marriage, because she was never married to the first one. Right. But since over here she had was get, so that means it's his divorcee. She married another man. He divorced her. A man's marriage, a woman's marriage, so she can't go back. Because the second marriage was terminated, it wasn't annulled. I had a case many years ago. The story goes back 25 years ago. A certain person came to Yad Avram. She came up. And they were getting married. So I said to the person, the chosson, was your mother ever married before? Before? So she said, yes. So listen to the story. What happened? What happened was, her mother was married to his father. They got divorced. They got divorced. She married another man. The second man divorced her. She went back to the first husband. No, that's the Halbitzer. The question was the second get ever? The first get wasn't a get, doesn't bother me, right? If the first get wasn't a get, let's say the first, so she was never married to the second man. So he's a kosher Jew, because he was married. He's the son of the first husband. But if the second marriage was a good marriage, and the second get's not a good get, right? And the first get was a good get, then he's a mamzer. He was born afterwards. This is the story, okay? Hear what happened. So he brings me, so I said, could you get me the get? Find who officiated on the get of the second man. First get, it doesn't make a difference, but the second get I want to see. Was some documentation who oversaw the second get, and it was an Orthodox marriage, because the parents wanted an Orthodox rabbi to officiate. So that itself would have indicated the first get was a get. But the second get, the second marriage, When she remarried her, it wasn't. It was done by a Reformed conservative rabbi, because it was years later. So the question is, so he brings me a get. The rabbi who saw the get for the second one already passed away. It was in Connecticut, the rabbi, and brings me the get, and the get itself, and the rabbi had a file of all the gittin that he oversaw. Brings me the get. First I called somebody who was a Talmud, Rav Moshe Feinstein then. Rav Moshe already passed away, and he says, he checked it out, the rabbi was at first class. He was a Litvisher Rav. He was a Lithuanian rabbi in Hartford, Connecticut. Therefore, could you bring the get? Brings the get. I have the get. It's all marked up, which is funny. And what happened was the new rabbi who took over after that rabbi passed away, he was some modern rabbi, and somehow he was teaching Gittin. So he used those Gittin, which is inappropriate, as models, and they marked them up. They marked them to get. But it turned out the get was a kosher get. The second get was kosher. The father was Masa Grushaso. Right? Okay. It doesn't make him illegitimate. He's still a kosher Jew. Even though his father was not permitted to remarry his mother, wasn't permitted. He did, but the child's not is a kosher Jew. Because the second get was a legitimate get with the kosher get. The father remarrying her was a Torah violation. He was not permitted. But for a lav, the child is a kosher Jew. It's not a mamzer. It's not adultery. Yeah, it was a kedusha. It was a kedusha. Yeah, then it would be no problem. Then it would be no problem. Okay, that's the story of Masa Grusha also. Okay. Zaklal. Get miyun asura. If the get follows miyun, then she's not permitted. Asura lachzelo. Miyun acha get. But if the miyun's ach get, muteris lachzelo. 1 second. No, it makes. Look at the case of the Mishnah. The case of the Mishnah was first case. It says, "Noslo get there 0, minabo." Right? He gave her a get, then took her back, then minabo. Finish is lacher. But it's a chiddush. It's a chiddush. He was married to her once. No, wait. Then he gave her a get. Then he remarries her before she married. Now she's mine, but factually she was once married to him the first time.
She was a child, so it didn't mean the whole time.
The whole time, but the chiddush is, but since the last thing, we see the Mian as if Mian causes, she was, no, even from the first marriage. Even the first marriage. You understand? Yeah, whatever. He's married to a minor. He gives her a get. Right? So when he gave her the get, we see this like a regular rabbinic marriage. Subsequently, he remarries her. The one who gave her a get remarries her. So there's a new kedusha. Now she's mamayim. After the second marriage, to the same person. Okay? When she's mamayim, we say that miyun wipes out even the first marriage. So therefore, it's as if the get wasn't needed the first time. And now she marries a second person. Second person gives her a get. No miyun to the second person. Now she returns to the first one. Is it a problem? It's not a problem. No. It's a chiddush, but it's a chiddush. The first one gave a get before the miyun.
But it didn't mean.
What? It didn't mean something. What do you mean it didn't mean anything?
It didn't mean something. She's still under miyun, but it means.
If he would have given her a get, she married the second one, she's going to go back to the first one. Right? If a minor is married to a man, he gives her a get. Marries the second man, gives a get. Could she go back to the first one? No.
The get stopped.
So she's a minor.
Right.
The answer is because there's a get.
Right.
But if he gives her the get, remarries her, and then she's mamayim,
So it still says that she's young.
it's nothing with young. Nothing with young. We're not into a youth class. She's the miyun, because the relationship between her and the husband was miyun. We see as if they were never married, even the first time. Even the first time, although she got a get. So when she marries the second husband, gives her a get, it's as if she was never married to the first one, even the first time. So therefore he could remarry her. So whatever happens last, that's where we classify her. If the get followed the miyun, then she marries the second one, she can't go back to the first one. That's Machzor Grushoso. But if the miyun followed the get, then she can't go back to the first one. It's a chiddush, right? But that's what the mission is saying. Zakal get achamiyun asura. If the second marriage was terminated with a get and the first was terminated with miyun, he cannot go back to the first one. Asur lachzabo. Miyun acha get, but at first there was a get, then there was miyun. Muteres lachzabo. Okay. Hame'enes beish. V'nisas la'achir. She's nice, Mr. A, and she marries a second party. New case. V'girsho. Second one, divorce her. Girsho la'achir u'miyan abo. 1 second. V'girsho. Rega. La'achir u'miyan abo. Chosro v'nisis l'shlishi u'miyan abo. Yeah, wait. Rega. Yeah. Hamenis bish. She was married to A, walks out. Nislas la'acher l'girsha. Mr. B divorces her. La'acher u'miyan abo. Hear this? The third one, miyun. La'acher, the fourth one, girsha. The fourth one goes and divorces her. Zaklau. So now, could she go back to the what? To the one who divorced her? They're not the same husbands. The first case of the mission is the same husband who gave her the get, he remarried, and she was mine to him. So you could say that one person, she wiped out all marriage. But here they're different parties. Miyun followed for another husband the get, which is the previous husband. Zaklal, koshiyoti, semena beget, asur laslo, b'miyun mudhers laslo. That's what it's telling me. If it's the same husband, and Miyun followed that previous marriage, then she can go back to him. But here that they're different husbands, so the one who gave the get, she cannot go back to that. The one who gave a miyun, she could go back to that husband. There's nothing to do with it. Alma acha miyun umevatel get. Alma, so we see from the first case of the Mishnah, we say that if she was married to A, and A remarries her, and A gives her a get, after the get he remarries her, and she's mine, so what happens? And then she marries the second person, gets get. What does the Mishnah say? Howard.
So it's no good. It's a second person. The get would say no.
No, we say she could go back because the miyun followed the get. She's married to A.
She has to go back to A. She can't go to B. That's fine.
No. She was no B. She went back. A married her. Gave her a get. Well, no. Then he remarries her. And then there's miyun. Then she marries B.
Okay, so that's...
And B gives a get. And B gives a get. Could she go back to A?
Yes.
Okay, yes. So what does that say? That means the miyun, the second marriage, when she wiped out the get from the first marriage.
Right.
Therefore, he can take it back. So it's not called Mas Grushoso. Right?
Yeah, okay.
It's like remarrying your divorcee. We don't see her as his divorcee any longer.
Right.
So that's what it says. Almam osi miyun vatal get.
Yes.
Reminu hamenis bish v'nisas lacher v'girsho lacher miyano bo lacher v'girsho zakal koshi otzi semenu beget asur lazabo b'miyun muteres lazabo abel osi miyun dechavre ubotil gito di day. Right? Even though they're not comparable. Because here, but seemingly you shouldn't, the Gemara holds that you shouldn't be mechalik. Since there were separate marriages, you see what the miyun doesn't wipe out the get. Right, exactly. So, yeah. So what is Amar Rav Yehuda Shmuel Tavro? You have to split them, break the Mishnah. Misha Shanazu, Lo Shanazu. The first opinion, Mandi Omar argues with the same. This case of the same case where she married 4 people, argue with the position of the first statement in the Mishnah. Yeah, 1 second. Tavra, Mishanazu, Lo Shanazu. Omar, what's base? Omar Rova, base. Omar Rova, Maikusha. Yeah. My kusha, dilma miyun di day, mevatel get di day, miyun chavri lo mevatel gitu di day. Right? They're not comparable. The same man who married her, since he's the one who gave the miyun, so we look at his relation with her, so the miyun wipes out the first marriage. But where they're separate people, what does one's miyun have to do with the other one's get? Miyun chavri lo mevatel gitu di day. 1 second. Why we did differentiate? Gimel. the ID, the Makeres Brimosa Vikitozul, Bishishu Maisilo, or Maisilo. In the Dynami, Lo Lavatal Giti Day, the ID, Makeres Brimosa Vikitozul, also Mishabishu Maisilo. Shipsho, Lo Stabsho. Here, he says, since they were together, so right, there's certain body language between husband and wife, so she recognizes his body language. So when he winks to her, or makes certain body motions to her, she'll be attracted to him, right? Id the Makeres Brimosa Vitsos Kama Ozl Mishabish Lo Adim Enes Bebasra Umahadalo. Hashibsho lo shtabsho gershin herziro v'lo yechol lefaiso shtamer imo u'mirabo hilkoch leko lemecha shlo l'shibusho v'chein kol hayotzis b'mion lo chashin l'shibusho dimstama paiso ki have gabe shlo timoin lefaiso aval ki nisas lachem mitoch haget mitoch holech umefaiso v'am mischarit ani begershin v'yovoso sherei al korcho yotze mimenu Hilkoch Hoju Menis B'Sheni. He's differentiating. If a woman walks out on her husband, what does that mean? That means he couldn't hold her. If a woman gets a get from her husband, what does that say? That he sent her off. So that means with all her trying to endear herself to him, it didn't hold. 1 second. So how will we mechalik? 1 second. We're saying like this. Ma'ishto miyun dechavre d'lo mevatl gito didei. ID the Makeres B'Rimosov. We say the get of somebody else doesn't wipe out the original miyun. What's the reason? ID the Makeres miyun the Chavri Lomvatel Giti Day. ID the Makeres B'Rimosov B'Rimosov Ozil Mishabish U'Maisi Lo. Miyun the day. So what happens? He'll undo it.
The second one, so she should have me, and with the second one come back to the first one.
Maislo mian di day, nami lo levatel gito di day. The item Makeres B'Rimosov B'Rimosov Ozil Mishabish U'Maisi Hokvar shibsho v'lo ishabsho.
The difference is if he divorced her and she married somebody else, and then he wants to get her back, he's encouraging him to come back because he knows whatever the body language, and he's been trying to tell her to make me on the second one she come back, but because he divorced her, Paul made her a son of it, which didn't happen because he divorced her. If he divorced her,
But for the second one, when she's mine from the second one, he go back to the first one. The Mishnah says yes.
First one was Megarish.
No, but the Mishnah says it's only when she married another person. The Mishnah. Menes beish v'nisas la'acher. Nisas la'acher. Wait. V'girsha. 1 second. La'acher u'miyano bo la'acher girsha. Zekal kol sheyotzes heimenu beget asur la'achzebo b'miyun. But it seems to be only because there was a second get. Let's say all the subsequent husbands were miyun. Even though that's not the mashmos of the Mishnah. That's not the mashmos of the Mishnah. So what do we have to speak about the last guy who gave a get? Yeah, but what about the last guy? The last one he gave a get definitely should go back to because she was not married to anybody after him. So what do we have to speak about the last case? Let's speak about 3 husbands. Yeah, but why did the Mishnah have to speak about the last one gave a get? We didn't even need the last one to give a get. Right? The Mishnah speaks of the last one gave a get. We don't need the last one according to this. No, it's difficult. 1 second. Yeah. I don't know. No, I understand that, but then according to the rationale, what the Gemara is saying now, then the last case, I don't need the last case in the Mishnah. It's misleading. Because the last case makes it into a bona fide Maaseh Gerusha for the first one. I thought the reason why she can't go back to the first because she received the get from the last one. So since she was married to the last one, the third one, the second one gave a get, so that's Machzor Gerush also. The interim people gave miyun, she could go back. Why? Because she was never married to them. That's the way I understood. But we're saying now something else. Eli kasha de chavrei ad de chavrei. Kasha. It says miyano bover zero. Miyano bover zero. Nos laget v'nisas lach nisal malo nisgarsho. So la time nisarm lo nisgarsho. Homino buteres lach zelo. Am osi miyun de chavrei im vatel gito di day. Right. See, this is my kasha. This is my kasha. Eli kasha de chavrei ad de chavrei. The next case. It says Mira bover zero. Nos lo get. The first one gave her get. V'nisas la'acher v'nisal malo nisgarsho. Asur la'asulo. And then he gave a get. Taimo din salmon nisgarsho. Homiano. She wouldn't, if she would be mind, even though he gave a get, muteres la'asulo. Al mosi miru the chavrei umevatel gitu di day. It's old. So it's a stira, right? Evidently, you see, because what? Only that case is Machzor Gerush also. But it seems to me if there would have been a miyun, the miyun, she'd be permitted to go back. Uramini, hamenis bish, v'nisas liacher. A woman's married and she gets married to another party. V'girsho lachem miyanobo zaklau. Kol shiyotzmena beget asur lauslo. B'miyun muteres lauslo. Alma lo osi miyun, the chavrim vatl gitu dido. Amar Ablozo Tavro. Mishanazu lo shanazu. Ulo Amar Kigon Sheshlosha Begitten. Kigon Sheshlosha Begit the Merza Kigadola. Hear this. That since she had received 3 gitten, Samela, she looks like an adult. A girl receives 1 get, you say it's a rabbinic. Yeah. But a woman's already, it's known she was divorced 3 times. No. People may believe she's an adult. Yeah. So if the husband takes her back, then you'll say he's Machzor Gerush, so people will perceive it as that. Yeah. Shautzia sholish pamim beget the mechazik gedola sulu hodro lechad minayu osimiun deachel to avo kodem shetishalish, but before she receives 3 gittin osimiun the chavrim vadel gito. Okay? So we're falling off this whole idea that, we don't want him to entice her. It has nothing to do with that. If a woman is perceived as a woman who received a get, right? I mean, if 3 people gave her a get, evidently she must be an adult. Otherwise, why was they miyun? So evidently she must be, and yet he's remarrying her, right? How do we allow it? That's exactly why we don't allow it. Because it looks like Machzor Gerush also. Because she was divorced 3, but anything less than 3 times, since it's not in public view yet, miyun the chavrei will be mevatel the get, and the first man can take her back. He can take her back. Matano, if there's miyun, but let's say 2 people, Mr. A divorces her, Mr. B divorces her. Now Mr. A wants to take her back. He couldn't take her back, even though there were only 2, because there was no miyun. It's only the miyun knocks it out, right? No. There's no miyun. She's married to 2 people. Ruvain marries her, gives her a get. She marries Shimon and gives her a get. Could Ruvain take back the katana? No, even though there were only 2 gittin, right? But here we take, even though it's interspersed with miyun in between, the miyun follows the previous gittin. We say if it's only 2, we can. Let's say there were 2 gittin, and then number 3 marries and she does a miyun after 3. Then the first and second one can take her back. Second one for sure. Even the first can take her back. Okay. Matano Omer Rav Yehuda Marav Maidich Siv Mimino Bekesed. What's the pasuk over here? Gimel. There we go. Meimenu Bekesed Sinu Eitzenu B'Mechir Yavo. Okay. Meimenu Bekesed Sinu. Our water we drank, but we paid for it. Eitzenu B'Mechir Yavo. B'Shasa Sakono Nisvaksho Halochazu. Yeah. He says, this question was asked, there was a time where they decreed that Jews aren't permitted to study Torah. They're not permitted. Yeah. Yeah. Menu shasinu shasa konas vaksha alochazu harei shiotzes mirishon beget umisheni mimiun mau shetas l'rishon. Yeah, she left the first one to get you, right? Mau shetas l'rishon. Well, this question, it's not a question, because misheni b'miun. The second marriage was annulled. It's a double poshut. That's the Mishnah. Right? The Mishnah says only Machzor Grusha says only if what? If the second marriage was a marriage. But if the second one's Mamayin, no, that's Poshut. It's different. No, it's not compared to any of the cases we said before. Cases we said to me in the Chavri means it followed two previous Gittin. You understand? No, but she had to marry a third person to get a get. All the cases we had until now is she married a third party who gave her a get. So going back to the first, the question is that Machzor Grusha also. Yeah, so, no, but it's not a problem, but they both gave Gittin. No, that's the Shaila. I'm asking what is the Shaila? It's a double poshut he's permitted. But she was not, what happened if he divorced? Rega, 1 second. Let's say a person's married to a woman, gives her a get, Torah marriage. Then she goes, not married, she has a relation with another man. Is she permitted to go back to the husband? The answer is definitely. No, she got a get from the husband. Now she goes, as a single woman, has relations with other men. Could she go back to the first husband? She was never married again. It's Machzor Grusha after she's married to a third party. She never married any of these men. She just had sexual relations with them. Of course she'd go back. That's on a Torah. So I'm saying this is no worse than that. If she had miyun, that means she was never married to the second man. It's not miyun as mevatel get. We don't need miyun to mevatel get. The second marriage was never a marriage. Not that it's mevatel to get. Okay? That's my question. Harei shiyotzim rishon beget misheni b'miyun mashtach rishon schoro sochor echod barba me'azuz. Yeah. So they hired v'shos Rabbi Kiva beis asurin. They had to go on the QT. Yeah. V'osar.